Hey everyone, this is your girl Sharifa, aka Shree, and welcome to the I'm Good podcast, or in better words, the I Feel Good podcast. If you are new here, welcome to the family. This is a podcast where I explore topics on mental health, physical health, nutrition, and everything in between. So if you're trying to get right and stay right mentally, this is definitely the place you want to be. And wait, before I begin, here's some quick info. Why did I name this podcast I'm Good? Simple. Because as people, from a cultural standpoint, whether we are down or happy, our favorite response to friends, families, or strangers is I'm good, even if we're not. It's completely normal not to feel happy all the time, but in the midst of whatever you go through, the saying I'm good can elaborate to so many different meanings. So yes, this is the place to be, whether you are down, happy, excited, and everything in between. I'm here to dish out knowledge, talk about current topics, and of course, lift you up. So feel free to go ahead and subscribe, share this podcast, leave a review, and tell a friend. Now let's go ahead and get started on today's show. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me explain to you really quick. First of all, for starters, it's free. Yes, I said it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And I know most of you guys have a phone or computer, so it's so easy. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So make sure you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to today's episode. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. Or weekend, if you're listening to this on the weekend. Welcome back. If you are new here to my podcast, the I'm Good podcast, welcome. I'm your girl Shree, and thank you so much for tuning in today to my episode. And if you are a new returning listener, you already know what's good. You're popping. What's good? Okay, I'm good, fam. So we're just gonna kind of get right into it. So let's see. Do I have any current topics going on? There's a lot that's been going on around the world. I don't really have anything too current right now. One thing I will say is that lately, like for the past week or so, I'm kind of proud of myself. I've intentionally, one of the things that I wanted to start doing was intentionally start shopping Black. So that basically means, for anybody who might not know what that means, is I started intentionally shopping from Black-owned businesses. There's so many. When I tell you guys, so many great Black-owned businesses, local, and then I also shop for some that is non-local from where I live. So many. And then if you are looking for maybe a list of Black-owned businesses, if you go on Instagram, I found out about a lot of businesses on Instagram. They literally have so many, when I tell you, they have so many lists of different businesses. And I mean, literally, there's people out there, us African Americans out there who have so many businesses that can fit in anything of your lifestyle. If there's something that you like to do or something that you like to wear, trust me, one of us probably created it. So make sure you guys, no matter what race you are, go out, support these Black-owned businesses. There's some really dope businesses out there. I did end up purchasing couple things from some Black-owned businesses, but I want you guys to head over to my Instagram. That is at Amore Shree. That's Amore_SHRI. Head over to my Instagram for once I kind of broadcast what I buy, just so y'all can kind of see it on there. It'll probably look better, and I can tell you what I bought on here, but I want you guys to see what I bought on there from Black-owned businesses. So yes, I did debut one thing that I bought. I bought a really nice head wrap. It was pink and green and black, and y'all know I love me some pink and green, aka period. If you don't know, I am an aka. So head wrap was dope. It was from a place called Black Monarchy in Buffalo, New York. Really dope place. I got a lot of dope items, and I can't wait, like I said, to just feature that and feature those products on my Instagram. So yes, so make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on my Instagram. That is amore_shri. That's SHRI. I will also have my Instagram on the description, so you can do that as well. Feel free, like I always say, feel free to send me a DM. I just put out like a little poll on my IG. I asked what are some future topics you guys would like for me to talk about. I already have some topics in mind, and I kind of go with the flow each week depending on how I'm feeling or where the world is at and where I see fit to bring out a topic. But if there is something specifically that you're like, yo, I want her to talk about it or to discuss it, feel free to let me know. Many of you guys know who have listened to my podcast. My podcast is centered around mindset and wellness. So I say wellness and mindset. So I do talk about nutrition, like I'm talking about nutrition today. And I also talk about entrepreneurship and, having a successful mind. So generally, overall speaking, my podcast is all about that mindset, being well, feeling well, and overall, being healthy. And like I said, healthy to me is being healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. So that's my whole aim for this podcast, the I'm Good podcast. Aim is to promote the importance of being healthy in all areas of your life. So if there's something that you would like for me to discuss or talk about a little bit further, I kind of have a big range of things that I am open to talking about. And I can always do research on some topics that I may not know about. So feel free to go ahead and send me a message on my IG. And you can always hashtag to the I'm Good pod, or just state that, you were listening to this podcast. So, yes. So, and also too, before I get started on today's show, make sure you guys, go ahead and make sure you rate and review this podcast. I know on Apple Podcasts, there's an option where you can rate it and review it. So if you don't want to review it, that's no problem. You can just go ahead, rate it with the stars. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and rate that. That helps my podcast to be seen and also helps other people be able to listen to the content that I push out. And as always, too, as I state, always at the end of my podcast, if you know that this podcast will be beneficial to someone, or if you know someone who enjoys information like this, go ahead and share my podcast. If you want to support a Black-owned entrepreneur, period. Y'all, I really should stop saying period. Make sure you go ahead and share my podcast. So once again, like I said, I never want to, let it go unnoticed. I definitely want to thank everybody who has been tuning into my podcast each week. And thank you to anybody who has tuned into my podcast. Like I said, you guys motivate me to keep going. And so with that said, we are going to get started with today's show. So, as you can see by the title, today's episode, I'm talking about the benefits of juicing. I've never juiced before, but I actually started juicing yesterday. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my experience and why I decided to juice. But I think juicing is important, but I'm going to kind of tell you, I guess, a little bit of my take, but we're going to kind of go over the benefits of juicing. So, I decided earlier this week that I want to start getting into juicing. A really close friend of mine, one of my coworkers, was telling me how her fiance had bought her a juicer. And I'm like, what? And she's like, girl, yeah, he bought me a juicer for my birthday, and it also makes ice cream. And for anybody that doesn't know, I do have a degree in nutrition. So I have my master's in nutrition. So I have a lot of knowledge in nutrition and about eating healthy. But I will say this, to be honest, is that just because I may have that knowledge and stuff doesn't mean that I always do it. But I do know what it takes to, eat healthy and be healthy. But oftentimes, just because you know information doesn't mean you necessarily going to apply it. So once she told me this, I'm like, okay, I need to really kind of get onto this. So I looked into buying a juicer for myself. I think the one she said she got was over 200. And then what I ended up doing was I ended up buying a juicer on Amazon, and I got it for like 100. Now, I will say, I think the brand was Sarago or something like that. I really didn't care for it that much because I feel like the blades of it didn't cut my stuff that well, but I did try a couple of baby carrots and it definitely worked. It definitely came out as juice, so it's not bad, but I will say juicing definitely takes time. So for me to get like probably even a half a cup of carrot juice, it was probably going to take me like, I want to say probably maybe like a good 15 minutes or so. And one thing I'm trying to work on as a human, I mean, I'm not nothing else, I'm not an animal, but one thing I am trying to work on is I'm trying to practice patience in all areas of my life. You know, I think patience is so important. But basically, I was being very impatient with my juicer, and I literally juiced maybe like 5 baby carrots, and I literally had like 1/4 a cup of carrot juice. I drank it. It tastes perfectly normal. I mixed it with some pineapple juice, but I ended up throwing it away because I only like cold juices. I only like cold pineapple juice, and I only like cold carrot juice. So I did throw it away. So I did buy a juicer, and then I'm like, okay, if I really want to get serious about juicing like ASAP, I need to like buy another juicer. So I was like, no, I'm not going to buy another juicer. I'm just going to try to learn to work with what I have. So my sister started a little juicing journey as well. So what she did was she went to Whole Foods and she bought a bunch of juices by a brand called Blueprint. So I'm going to take a picture of these juices on my Instagram so you can just kind of get an idea of the different juices that I did drink during my juicing cleanse. It was supposed to be a 3-day detox. Keyword supposed to be. But I'll get into that. So, yeah. So, I went to, so she went to Whole Foods and got some juices. It's called Blueprint. And she got those juices, very, very healthy juices. Like I said, I'm very big on reading nutrition facts and seeing like what's inside the juices, if it's healthy, what things are added. I'm very, very, very big on that. I just love looking at nutrition. I just love like healthy foods and stuff like that. Just, I don't know. It puts me in a happy place. Like when I go to Whole Foods or I go to a healthy store, it literally lights up my soul. Like for some reason, it makes me happy. No, I don't always eat healthy all the time, but there's something to it. Like I literally feel so excited when I go into a store and all I see is healthy stuff. It just excites me. So my sister started her cleanse, whatever, her juicing cleanse, whatever. So I decided, I was like, you know what? This juicer that I have is fine, but I'm like, I feel like it's going to take time, you know, for me to get the amount of juice that I want to go on a detox. So long story short, I did go to Whole Foods and I went to another place called Wegmans. It's a grocery store that we have in upstate New York. And I went to the grocery store and got some juices. So I got some Blueprint juices, Evolution, and then I got a couple of my protein shakes. I'm a pescatarian and I've been a pescatarian for 3 years, and me getting protein is very important because it's already hard enough because I don't eat meat. I'll say it's already hard enough for me to even get adequate protein. For me, I typically, use like a vegan protein powder if I feel like I'm not getting enough protein during the day. But I definitely try to make sure I consume the plant proteins like the avocado, the chickpeas, and things like that. But some things kind of hurt my stomach, like some beans, like black beans and stuff like that. That kind of hurts my stomach. So I typically just, stick with the hummus, the avocado, guacamole, even though it's the same thing. Those are the things that I stick to. So I decided to go ahead and I was going to do a 3-day detox. Disclaimer, also too, is I am a type 1 diabetic. So I was kind of nervous. I was a little nervous because I'm like, okay, typically as a diabetic, they tell you need to eat and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm about to juice, whatever. So long story short, I started my juicing cleanse yesterday. I had I had 3 protein drinks, 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for bedtime. And they were all literally so they weren't juices. They were like shakes. 1 was like a naked fruit juice. And the other 2 was like a chocolate protein shake. None of them were like fattening or anything. I definitely read the nutrition facts and stuff like that. So none of them were like too fattening, whatever. So I did those. And then I also drank like a carrot and turmeric juice. I did a drink called Kill It Up. So it had kale, apple, romaine lettuce. So that was like my green juice. And then I also had another really, really good juice as well. It wasn't that good. It was pineapple, apple, and mint. The apple and mint kind of threw me off. I'm not a huge fan of apples, period. I don't like apple juice. I don't like apple pie. So I'm not a huge fan of apples. I only typically like apples if they're like dipped in like Nutella, peanut butter, or like some caramel sauce. So I'm not really, really, really huge on apples. So those were the drinks that I had. Like I said, I'm going to post them on my Instagram, or I'll probably post them a little bit more on my IG story as well. So make sure you guys go head over to my Instagram just so you can see what those look like. So I did the detox for one day, and I did start feeling, I'll be honest, like, I guess I did kind of feel a little weak, and I guess it's understandable because the day before I literally ate crap. And I'll be honest with you guys, I ate crap because I was like, oh, I'm not going to be eating anything for the next 3 days. So I basically ate crap. But the reason why I really decided to go on this 3-day detox is because I felt like I was mentally becoming drained. And I couldn't really tackle why I was. But now that I think about it, and now that I kind of went to fasting mode of detox, I now understand, like I tell you guys all the time, I kind of figure out what my trigger was. And now, once I did this detox, I figure out what it was, what that was holding me back and holding me hostage, mentally. So I decided to do this thing called basically a mental detox, juicing, to help clear my mind. And I will definitely say it definitely helped a lot. I talked about it before, and I will, if you want me to guys to go more in depth into it, for my master's project or thesis, I wrote a huge paper on whether or not foods, high carbohydrate foods and different foods, if they affect, levels of anxiety and depression. And I did research and find out that research has shown that when you eat high carb foods and things like that, it does often lead to a state of anxiety and depression. So this past week, in the beginning of the week, my mental was a little dusty. Okay. It needed need to blow it. It was a little dusty. I wasn't as motivated as I need to be. And I already knew one of the biggest things that was leading to me feeling not my best was my eating. So I decided to go on a mental detox. So I have learned too through research that when you do eat healthy, it definitely improves your mental. So if you are suffering from like anxiety, depression, or if you're going through a hard time in your life right now, one of the best things you can honestly do for yourself, I will suggest juicing, is just try to eat healthy. Try. If you're already going through it and you're eating high carbohydrate foods, there's a part of your brain that becomes inflamed, which they also call it is a systemic inflammation, which kind of already causes, you're already depressed, you're already dealing with anxiety, your body becomes even more inflamed. So I highly, highly suggest, if you feel like you need some clarity, something is bothering you, you don't know what it is, maybe you do know what it is, maybe you are stressed, I highly suggest you take a detox. It could be any type of detox, but I really think you should really focus on, the food aspect. So that's the reason why I decided to juice. Was I already want to do it, but earlier this week, I'm like, something has to change. And I'm like, I know for me to progress in life, for me to mentally go forward, something has to change. And it was my eating. So I decided to do the detox. So that's just kind of a background, a little bit of why I decided to do the juicing this past week. But I want to just kind of go over to some, I kind of wanted to get into some benefits of juicing. And then I'll just kind of tell you a little bit more about my experience and a little bit more about how I felt afterwards. So as usual, feel free to take some notes, get you a pen and paper, whatever, or just take a mental note. Because if you're driving, please do not be taking notes. Maybe the passenger could take some notes, but please don't be taking notes. So, all right. So the first benefit of juicing, and disclaimer, there are a lot of benefits of juicing. And then also too, there are some reasons why people say juicing is not the best, but I'm going to talk about the benefits today. One benefit of juicing is that it gives you a better absorption. It better absorbs in the body, the vitamins and minerals of the different foods that you eat. So you can do like carrot juice, any type of fruit. The vitamins and minerals are basically easily digested into your body. Not to say that, if you eat an apple out straight that it won't digest properly, but when you juice, all you're doing is drinking liquid, and it just literally just goes into your body. So that's a great way. Like, instead of, if you say, hey, you know what, I don't want to take these vitamin C vitamins no more, which I know a lot of people were on, because I was on it, taking vitamin C supplements and stuff like that due to COVID-19. And I know a lot of stores I was going to, a lot of pharmacies, they were out of, vitamin C. One of the things you can do is get into juicing. So you can get like carrot juice, you can get like orange juice. But anytime that you juice, you're getting a great power amount of vitamins. Like a lot of juices that I did, very high in vitamin A, a decent amount of iron, very, very, very high in vitamin C. Like I did a carrot and turmeric juice, very, 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 very high in vitamin C. And then that juice also has some orange. I did a Kale It Up juice by Blueprint. Like I said, it had kale, romaine, parsley. So a lot of those juices have a lot of great vitamins and minerals in them. Another thing about juicing is that obviously if you eat an apple, you have the fiber, which is important, but we're going to talk about, the benefits of juicing. But with juicing, you're able to consume more fruits and vegetables than if you weren't juicing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that if you had a platter of fruit that you couldn't consume that platter of fruit, but you're able to consume the platter of fruit faster by juicing it and turning it into a juice. So that's why another reason why people juice as well is to give them it's like a power boost. So you're able to get a higher consumption of fruits into your body versus then having to eat it, which is fine. Now, from a nutritionist standpoint, I always say whatever works best for the client works best for them. So if a client prefers to juice versus to eat the vegetables raw, okay, I'll say go ahead and juice. But down the line, I will definitely state that, juicing carrot juice is fine, but, maybe you should look into starting to eat carrots due to its nutritional content, eating it in the raw form. So if somebody says that, oh, hey, I can only eat carrots in a smoothie, I'm not going to say, hey, don't eat that smoothie. You got to eat it raw. Put the carrots in a smoothie. So I'm really, really big as a nutritionist with working with clients and understanding and figuring out what works for them. Because if a client is not going to, if a client doesn't like raw carrots but only wants to drink raw carrot juice, and you tell them to eat raw carrots, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to eat those raw carrots. So to really help my client, I'm better off telling someone just to go ahead and drink the juice. So like I stated before, if you want an abundance of fruit all at once, or fruits and veggies, juicing is the way. I mean, literally, it gives you the power boost. Also, too, it improves your immune system. So for anybody who has like an autoimmunity disease like me, I have type 1 diabetes. And I know I talked about that on here. And I also have a thyroid autoimmunity. I think it's really important because we already have so much in our bodies that's trying to fight against our own body. I mean, that's what autoimmune disease is. It's like literally our body attacking our body. I think it is important for us to detoxify it. So I think it is important to juice to get rid of any toxins in your body. That's why I did that. For me, I felt like there was a lot of, I would say, garbage in me that I needed to get out because I was eating poorly. I would say I was eating poorly last week. I was celebrating my father's birthday last week, and it kind of was just like a ripple effect. And then we went with Father's Day. Then I ate out then. It just kind of a ripple effect. And I just kept eating so poorly. Like my mind was just like clogged, literally clogged with high carbohydrate food. So, I feel like I had a lot of toxins in me, and I feel like that was making me become mentally drained. So if you do have an autoimmune disease or know someone that has one, or maybe you have just any type of disease, it is very important, to get those fruits and vegetables in. And if you don't like fruits and vegetables, I say go for it. Get you some juices, even if it's like, okay, for breakfast, I'm going to drink a juice, and then for my snack, I'm going to eat something. Or you can reverse it. You can say, okay, for breakfast, I'm going to have my meal. And then for my snack, I'm going to have a juice drink. Then for lunch, I'm going to have a salad or a meal. And then for my snack, I'm going to do another juicing drink. So there's different ways you can play around it. You don't necessarily have to do like a full detox like I did. Before I get to the end of the story, I'll basically say I only lasted 1.5 half of the day of it. And I'll tell you why of the 3-day detox. So, you basically, you could play around with it. Start small, start big. They also say go hard or go home. So if you want to really go a full day with juicing, I definitely say go for it. It'll definitely, you'll definitely feel the benefits. And also too, I didn't state. So I detoxed for one day, the first day, and I lost 3 pounds. So it definitely helps. If you're trying to lose weight, I definitely suggest, trying maybe a 1-day detox of juicing. It definitely helps. I literally lost like 3 pounds and I felt lighter, and I still feel lighter. Like I woke up this morning and I'm like, okay, Shri, like I literally felt like legit, like I literally felt like a feather. So another benefit is I talked about was digestion. It really is easily digested. Like you're literally just drinking a juice. So juicing helps with that. Like I said, it's a great way to get in all types of fruits and vegetables into your system without having to sit down and eat them or try to figure out, okay, well, I got all this kale, but how can I cook it? Listen, honey, if you need some kale in your system, go to your local Whole Foods, go to your local grocery store, go into the healthy section. There's probably a kale drink there. So if you need that boost or need that mental clarity, go for it, Also, too, which I am aware of too, research has shown that it may help reduce the risk for some cancers. I know I talked about autoimmune diseases, and anybody who has a compromised immune system. I've seen so much information. I haven't got too much into it, but when I was in school for nutrition, one of the biggest things they said was that for people with cancer, they advise their cancer patients to get off meat. My biggest thing about that was like, why are we waiting till people to have cancer to then tell them that meat is unhealthy or carcinogenic? I'm like, okay, so that's another reason why I have still been a pescatarian, because when you know better, you do better. And just reading that information really, I just was really appalled. Like, it was literally reading my book that individuals who are diagnosed with cancer, 9 times out of 10 are told to stop eating meat. Why are these doctors, why is the media still letting us eat meat? And I get why. It's a money-making industry. But I do want to let you know that right now. So if you know anybody who is dealing with cancer, or if you're just trying to, make sure that, you don't become at risk for it, or if you are at high risk for it, meat has been linked to cancer. Okay. And I mean, you could do your own research on it. It was in my textbook. I've seen it, heard about it. There's a lot of documentaries on it. You can go on YouTube. But so in regards to juicing, it has shown to help reduce the risk for some cancers. And you kind of hear that too. Like, I think I remember one time I seen like a documentary where it was a person who had cancer. And I think she went on a plant-based diet for like a month and only ate plant-based foods. And I think her cancer went away. I'm not completely sure. You guys, let me know if you know what documentary I'm talking about. I forgot what the name of it was called, but there is a lot of information on YouTube in regards to people juicing and how it actually reversed a lot of diseases. I know my friend who bought the juicer, she told me she watched a documentary on YouTube where there were some people who juiced for a month and their asthma went away. I think she said their diabetes. They must have had type 2, because type 1 is a little more tricky. Type 1 is the diabetes that I have, where my pancreas doesn't work at all. Type 2, you're still able to produce insulin, but just not enough. With me, my pancreas is like, yeah, girl, we ain't working. 19 years later. But yeah, so I feel like that's an awesome benefit in regards to, juicing, that it can help reduce something like cancer. Because as we all know, you hear so much about cancer. I mean, they're talking so much about COVID this, COVID that. But I still say to myself, y'all, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in other departments in regards to illnesses out there. Like COVID is very serious, but we still also can't forget about the other illnesses that are, unfortunately killing people or, causing people to be disabled or causing people to suffer. Like, y'all, things have to be done. And like I said, I'm taking my step, even creating this podcast, trying to help people, especially from a nutrition standpoint. And then also too, I will be starting a business soon. My nutrition coaching business, I will be starting that soon, but I'll kind of get more into detail into that, as time goes on, once I get everything up and running. Because I really want to help as many people as I can. And then let me know if you guys will be interested in like a course, maybe if I taught a course on nutrition. Let me know if you would be interested in that, because I would, definitely wouldn't mind doing that. Like I said, I love helping people, and I also love helping people tailor their nutrition plan based off of their needs and whatever's going on with them. So, also too, juicing helps with weight loss. Like I stated before, I did it for 1 day and I lost 3 pounds. So if you're trying to lose that quick weight, you're trying to fit into that dress, I suggest juicing. Just make sure you do it correctly. For me, like I said, I had to add in the protein shakes because a sis was hungry. I had some hungry pangs, and I don't do that. And I already don't eat meat. So I was like, I just can't be out here losing muscle mass and stuff like that. So I had, I think, 3 protein drinks yesterday, and I had 2 today. Also too, and for anybody that's a diabetic, that knows someone that's a diabetic, I had some really, 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 really good blood sugar readings. So my blood sugar yesterday, when I juiced for the entire day, they barely nudged. They were between like 90 and 70. And y'all, that's excellent. The 70, not so much, because that could create low blood sugar. But I can only imagine what the benefits will be for somebody with type 2 diabetes. So if you know somebody who has type 2 diabetes, suggest to them that maybe they should get into juicing. Or if you know somebody has type 1, it helps too. But type 2 definitely, because I know type 2 is something that, could be worked upon, in regards to, losing weight and eating healthy and things like that. So those are just some of the benefits of juicing that I kind of want to go over. My favorite juice, I will say so far, I love my carrot. It's orange carrot and turmeric juice. I got it from Wegmans. That was really good. But a juice that was really refreshing to me and made me feel clean was called Kill It Up. And that was by Blueprint. So I think it had kale. I'm not looking at it. Romaine lettuce, parsley. I'm trying to think. Did it have mint? I don't think it had mint. But that felt really clean. I felt very clean inside. And it felt very refreshing. So that was so far my favorite juice. And it was another juice. Oh, the pineapple apple mint. I did like that. I literally love pineapple. So if you love me or know me, bring me some pineapples. I literally love pineapples. Like, pineapples are so good to me. And I love Dole pineapple juice. Like, and I bought Libby's pineapple juice for the first time, and Libby's don't got nothing. I mean, yeah, Libby's don't have nothing on Dole, and I wish I never would have bought the Libby's. I think I was just frustrated that Dole, the pineapple juice that I buy, you actually have to puncture it and then pour it out, whatever, you know what I mean. But yes, so y'all, I be talking so much, I be losing my train of thoughts. Oh, so yeah, I started my detox yesterday and I ended it today. So I ended up on the detox for about 1.5, almost close to 2 days. But basically, y'all, I gave in and ate some cereal. Long story short, the detox definitely works. It definitely works. You'll definitely lose weight. You'll feel cleaner. Mentally, that mental detox is exactly what I need. My brain power is back on. I was back motivated. My mind felt clearer. That's exactly what I needed. I needed that boost. I needed the correct nutrients because all that high carb food was not cutting it. But for me personally, I was becoming too fatigued, becoming too hungry, and I kept dealing and battling with, making sure my blood sugar wasn't getting too low. And with me, when I have low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, I'm already dealing with feeling weak and, not feeling well. So I became very, 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 fatigued and kind of lightheaded. So I was proud of myself. I did juice for one day, one full day. I lost 3 pounds. And it's something that I will do again. So if I ever got to fit into my dress, like when I got to be a bridesmaid next year, I might do one day of juicing. But I told myself I'm going to start keeping those type of juices on hand anytime I need that extra boost. So what I'll start doing is I'll eat healthy. Like, I'm going to start doing this thing where I'm going to eat healthy, then do a juice, eat another meal, and do a juice. So I'm going to just try to keep myself on track until I'm able to, like, just successfully and easily just be like, okay, I'm making my salad. Okay, I'm having a snack that's a vegetable. But right now, I'm not that disciplined. The best way for me to get my nutrients right now is for me to juice. So I'm going to continue to eat healthy for like my breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And then my snacks are going to be like the juices. So I didn't complete it. I gave in and ate some cereal. And can I tell y'all, when I ate that cereal, it gave me life. It wasn't even nothing that serious. I think it was some Honey Crunch almond cereal. It gave me life. And it helped me. It helped me a lot. I got a lot more energy. That's why I'm able to do this podcast, because I got a lot more energy and stuff like that. Because I'm like, dang, how can I record this podcast if I'm feeling weak and fatigued? I'm talking about the benefits of juicing, and I'm going to be feeling juiced. So, yes. So, all in all, I think the benefits, I feel like juicing is great. It worked for me. I just couldn't do it long term. With me dealing with type 1 diabetes, I was like, I wasn't sure if it was the safest, but I did do it for one day. And I think, if you are able to handle it, go for it. My sister, she did it for 3 days straight, completely juicing. And I think she said she lost 7 pounds total in 3 days. And so she's been eating healthy. She ate a salad today. She's been eating fruit and stuff like that. So it definitely gets you on the right track and stuff like that. So I want to hear you guys' stories. So let me know if any of you guys ever juice, how you felt, how long it lasted, or how long you did it. I know there's people out there that juice for 30 days. I can't imagine. I know it's possible, but I don't know if that's something that I would do. And then also too, I was very fatigued. I don't know if it was because I've had so many toxins in me and everything. I was getting rid of all the toxins in my body that my body was just like, yep, shut down. So there's a lot of reasons why you might feel fatigued, but I was also having hunger pains, y'all. Come on now. I was like, Shree can't do this. So, but like I said, a lot of benefits of juicing. Let me know, guys. Hit me up. Send me an email. Hit me up on my Instagram. I want to hear some of you guys' stories. Let me know if you ever juiced and how it went. So also too, before we leave, I got to hit you guys with a quote. So this week quote is, your body is your temple. Keep it pure and clean. I'm reading wrong. Your body is your temple. Keep it pure and clean for the soul to reside in. I'm going to read it one more time. You already know I like to read it twice. Your body is your temple. Keep it pure and clean for the soul to reside in. So keep your body clean, eat healthy, and your mind is going to feel great. You're going to want to start that business. You're just going to feel so much better, because when you eat raggedy, your brain going to be raggedy. When you eat garbage, you're going to have a garbage brain. Because I was there earlier this week. I was like, I can't live this life. I was like, I got to do better. And I decided to go on that detox. And since then, my mental clarity has been A1. And then also too, as before I forget, I did post on my Instagram. I will be announcing some really, really, really great news soon. I'm not going to give you guys an exact date, but I have some really, really great news. A business venture that I am starting, and I'm very, very excited about it, guys. To share it to the world. Very, very excited. So yeah, so that is this week's quote. Let's see. Yeah. So before I go, guys, make sure you guys go ahead, rate, review this podcast. If you are listening to this on Anchor, feel free to leave me an Anchor message. I'll get it. I'll be able to listen to it. If you are following me on Instagram, thank you so much. Feel free to leave me a message on there. You popping, whatever you got to do. Put hashtag I'm good pod, whatever. Hashtag I'm good podcast. But I love seeing that, I am gaining new followers on there for people who have been listening to this podcast. Like I said, I'm forever thankful. I really enjoy doing these podcasts each week. I really honestly don't feel like it's a job to me. I mean, it is sort of a job because I have to be consistent, but I enjoy it. And I enjoy that you guys enjoy it. So you guys motivate me. So, all right. So I'm good, fam. We are now at the end of this week's show, and I hope this information was helpful, insightful, and everything in between. So don't forget to subscribe, share this podcast, leave a review, and tell a friend. Thank you guys once again so much for listening, and I will see you all beautiful people next week.